What's up, guys? Welcome back to another meal prep with Chef Ty. Today we're going to be making some sirloin steak and some sweet potatoes for dinners, and one of my favorite bulking meals of pulled chicken barbecue sandwiches with some cream cheese and spicy barbecue sauce. Now, these are also pretty easy meals to make, and they don't take very much time. Was another motivator for me cooking these two meals today. I don't like taking a ton of time doing my cooking, and if I can prep meals that are easy and healthy, that's always a plus. Here's a little preview of the barbecue chicken sandwiches that I'm going to be having for lunch. It's just the cream cheese, the spicy barbecue sauce, some chicken breast, whole wheat toast, and some sugar snap peas with some hummus. To make my chicken breast, here's the spices I used. Got some Mrs. Dash, a little bit of salt, some cayenne pepper, onion powder, and pepper. Throw that on my chicken breast, and then I fill that crock pot up to the top of the level of the chicken breast with some water. And found if you've put the seasonings on the chicken breast before you put the water in, and then you pour the water in on the side, you can actually keep a good portion of the seasoning on and increase the flavor of your chicken breast to make it taste a little better. Put that on high, put it in the corner so that I can move on to my next cooking task, which, since the chicken breast takes about 2 hours, I do that first. Then I move on to my sweet potatoes here, which are the next longest thing, take about an hour, hour and a half in the oven, since once again my oven kind of sucks. Have the oven preheating right now, it's almost ready to go. I've been using this cleaver, which has made my sweet potatoes really easy to chop. It takes me just a couple minutes to get them all chopped up and put in the pans. There's probably a little better form I could be using on my with the cleaver, but I'm not really too worried about it. I haven't chopped a finger off yet, and let's just hope that stays that way. After I finish up with chopping, move those over and put them in the pan. Now, I'm not really too worried about how these fit in the pan. I also don't have any cooking spray or olive oil in the pan. I just put them in there, push them to the front, stack them about as tall as the pan is, and then finish up with the rest of my sweet potatoes. Once all my sweet potatoes are chopped, I move them over to the oven. I've got the oven set to 425 degrees, and then I just check on them about 50 minutes in, and then an hour in, and then every kind of 5 to 10 minutes after that, I take a little knife, poke the sweet potatoes, see if they're as soft as I want them to be. The last couple times I've left them in there a little bit too long, and some of the natural sugars have kind of cooked out and made them stick to the pan. So this time, didn't let them cook for quite as long, and they came out a lot better. Now I moved over to using the cleaver on my sirloin steak here. Once again, could probably get a little bit better at using the cleaver. For some reason, I'm a little nervous to just chop down with full force, even though my hand's not on there. If I chopped a little better, I could end up making it through that steak all the way in one slice. I can't stress enough how much easier the cleaver has made cutting these potatoes and cutting the steak, and I haven't used it on the chicken breast yet because once you throw the chicken breast in the crock pot, it kind of just falls apart after it's done cooking. But I would definitely recommend getting a cleaver if you haven't. I just got one recently, and it's made cutting all of these pieces a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. After I finished cutting up all my sirloin steak, I threw it over in the pan with some olive oil. Took 2 pans worth of space to cook all this steak up. It was about 3.5 pounds of steak in total. And I didn't chop off any of the fat. I just left it all on there for the extra flavor and the extra calories. Got the one pan started a little sooner than the second pan. These take a couple minutes on each side, flip them over, a couple more minutes, and they're pretty much good to go. Here's the finished product for that steak. This steak is delicious, and even a few days later in the refrigerator after I heat it back up in the microwave, it's still nice and juicy and soft, and would definitely recommend getting a steak similar to that. Paying a couple extra bucks if you don't like your steak to be kind of chewy a couple days later in the refrigerator. Now I've got all my sweet potatoes and my beef portioned out. I've got about 7 ounces of steak in each one of these and 425 grams of sweet potatoes in each container. Throw the macros on the screen for that one. My chicken breast finished about 20 minutes after I was done with all of the rest of my food. As you can see, this I just kind of take one breast, put it in each container, make sure it's relatively the same amount of weight, and then crush it all up. It's falls apart pretty easily. Meal prep's all done, doesn't take too long. I actually finished this one in a little under 2 hours. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Tyson Winder signing out.